Millionaire gave me $69,000. I had been living on Miami Beach for a few months, right near Ocean Drive. Every day, I wandered around, looking for a place where I could feel a bit more at home. I eventually found a secluded spot where old beach chairs were stacked and forgotten. I carved out a little corner for myself, a place no one could find for quite some time. During the days, I'd head to the beach, soaking up the sun and enjoying the rhythm of the waves. Miami Beach has its own vibe, full of life, yet with enough space for those who want to disappear. It was here that I met a street artist known as Cocaine Cowboy. He was a bit of a legend in the area, always sporting sunglasses even at night and known for his eccentric personality. We got to talking and he introduced me to someone who would change my life, a man named Alex, but everyone called him the sponsor. Alex was a wealth manager from Manhattan, living in New Jersey. He was one of those guys who had just made a series of gray area moves, boosting his net worth into the millions. But unlike other Wall Street types, Alex decided to step away from the corporate grind. He started living life on his own terms, investing in a weed farm, purchasing a vintage movie theater, sponsoring golfers, and traveling across the country. He noticed my free spirit and my background in arts management, from a past life that seemed so distant now. Intrigued, Alex offered me a gig as his personal assistant. My role? To help him manage his new ventures, basically running the operation side of things. It sounded surreal, a beach bum turned assistant to a millionaire. But Alex saw something in me, something that resonated with his own desire for freedom. The next few weeks were a whirlwind. I traded in my sand-filled hair and sunrise mornings on the beach for private jets, luxury hotels, and meetings with investors. Alex wasn't your typical rich guy. He was passionate, always talking to everyone, from the homeless to the wealthy, workers to volunteers. He believed in living life to the fullest, hiring people left and right, even if it meant bleeding money. Alex's brother, who was even wealthier, often criticized him, calling him a victim of his own success. This would infuriate Alex, but over time, I began to see the truth in those words. Alex was driven by a need to prove himself, and it took him to some pretty wild places. One day, Alex decided he wanted to experience something new, a private jet. He flew me and his favorite golfers to South Carolina, where we spent the weekend exploring new business opportunities. On another occasion, we flew out to California so he could purchase another weed farm. Alex was always on the move, always chasing the next big thing. He even put together a team to renovate his movie theater in Jersey, turning it into a place where art and business could collide. We raced from Miami to Jersey, him in his Audi, me following close behind in a BMW he'd rented for me. It was during these road trips that I really got to know Alex. He was a man of contradictions, someone who craved freedom, yet was trapped by his own ambitions. He always remembered me as the guy with flowers in my hair, someone who lived life without the constraints of society. He'd often say that he admired my ability to stay true to myself, even as the world around me changed. But despite all the adventures and the money, there was always something dark lurking beneath the surface. Alex was a man who lived on the edge, and eventually that edge became too sharp. 9 months after we first met, I received a phone call that would change everything. Alex had taken his own life. His death hit me hard. For all the money, the luxury, and the excitement, Alex couldn't find the peace he was searching for. It made me realize that money doesn't bring happiness, and living on the edge can sometimes push you over. After his death, I decided that the high-stakes world of finance wasn't for me. I returned to my roots, focusing on art and the simpler things in life. The $69,000 that Alex had given me as a salary and bonuses, I used it to set up a small studio where I could work on my art and help other struggling artists find their way. I wanted to create something meaningful, something that would last longer than the fleeting moments of excitement Alex had chased. Now, every time I watch the sunrise, I think of Alex and the lessons he unknowingly taught me. His life was a roller coaster, but in the end, it reminded me that true freedom comes from within, not from the wealth we accumulate.